Okay, I think I've got the camera semi-straight now. It was a bit wonky before. Hi, it's Cat Flosstube from Cat Stitch, where I talk a lot about my stitchy stuff and life in general occasionally might come into it. Coming to you from Wellington, New Zealand. Today is Sunday, the 24th of April. One thing I haven't done. I can't see the screen. Oh, look, there you are. Now I can see you. Okay. So it's a bit cooler here in Wellington this morning. I thought I'm just going to get on a little earlier than usual because I want to get some baking in today because tomorrow is Anzac Day and every year I make Anzac cookies. Like my birthday cookie. So I'll be doing that today along with some banana nut mini loaves and carrot cake muffins and I don't know, whatever else catches my eye. Something for my birthday cake maybe. I'll think about it. So as you can see, Monkey is here. Yes, Monkey's here. Okay, so he's grumpy, but you know, that's typical. He just wants treats, which is why he's annoying me at the moment. And Bobby's at the end of the bed. I'm sure he'll make an appearance at some point. So I was going to be coming to you, if you'd seen my little extra midweek, from my new little craft space, but unfortunately, because I have nothing to sit on and there's no desk or anything like that in there yet, it's back in my bedroom. But I've got space. Look, see, I've got wall behind me now. So I'm planning on actually hanging some of my smaller ones behind me as well, so I can have some in here too. And so I've had a bit of a rearrange of my room and things like that. I've still got a lot more work to do in my room because the corner that you can't see looks like there was an explosion of something. So, oops. Anyway. So every week when I do Flosstube, I'm learning something a little bit better, you know, to not do again from the previous week. Last week it was a light issue. So we're just going straight with the curtains shut and the little round light thingy. Thank you so much for coming back for Flosstube number 4. Considering I was only going to do this like once a month or every couple of weeks because I didn't think I'd have anything to show or to do. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to keep this pace up, especially when I go back into my studies at the start of next month, but we'll see how it goes. And I'm going to keep on working on the whole thing. But today, what have I got for you today? Today I have some new starts. I have a couple of finishes. One is framed, and actually a lot of people haven't actually seen it, which is cool. And I say a couple of new starts. I've actually got 6 new starts. But 5 are from a series. Well, not strictly speaking a series, but it was just a little mini challenge I set myself. I have also got a little bit of haul, not so much in regards to cross stitching, but bits and pieces to help next week when I want to try and fully finish some things. So I thought, well, I'll get a few bits and pieces, and some of my AliExpress stuff arrived last week, which is really cool. I did get myself this little charm. Now, I've got it on back to front, and there's a pain in the neck putting this bracelet on. But it's a little, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but let's see if we can give it a go. So it's a little charm. Oh, there we go. If I contort myself, it actually says Sarah on it. Now, my birth name is Sarah Jane. I just haven't used it for over 30 years, so, but that's my birth name, and the charm had it on it, so I sort of thought, well, I was supposed to get that charm. So, there you go. Woke up this morning quite froggy and coughing, so we'll see how this goes. So I've got, a couple of finishes. I'm also going to show you the one that I had started, the Stitch Your Own Adventure from Cunning Cross Stitch, and I'm not going to complete it. Instead, I'm sending it over to Donna in Canada, and she's very willing to take it on board and finish it. And she did offer to send it back, but I'm like, no, just keep it with the price of postage. So I have a finish. I have a fully finish. I have 6 new starts. One that I'm not going to be doing and sending over, and then a little bit of stashy haul. and yes, Monkey. And Monkey here, yeah, he's not happy with me at the moment because I won't give him extra treats, and he wants extra treats, don't you, Monkey? It's like, I need treats. I'm such a starving animal. My mum's really mean to me. Is that right? Hey, Bobby. Okay, so we'll let the kids make their appearance. Okay, Monkey. Off you. Come on then. Come and say hello. So here's Bobby. What's that? Come here. Come here. Oh my god, he's too heavy to lift. Okay, so there's Bob. Here he is. Yes. So he's saying hi to everyone. Okay, so you've said your hello? You alright? Can Mummy carry on now? I can. You've had enough now? Yeah? Is that paparazzi? Don't like it. He's always scruffy. I mean, well, he isn't when he, has a good brush and wash, but Sunday mornings are never brush and wash time. So he's always scruffy on a Sunday morning. Aren't you? Yes. But you suit being scruffy. What takes after his mum. Okay. So, to start with, let's get going. Hopefully this one is really not going to be very long. Now, I did say I was going to be in my other room, but unfortunately not. So what I'm going to do is, or what I have done is, I've taken a quick video of everything in my other room. If I can't figure out how to insert it here, then it'll be added at the end. Still learning. It'll probably be added at the end, so let's just leave it at that, and then it's less confusion. Okay, so first we're going to start with the finish. So this is the one that I showed you last week that I started on Saturday night, and I finished this on Thursday. I have changed the colours, so I'm using the tree is, let me just hold this up, here we go. So the tree is a hand-dyed etoile that I did. That's the one that I just dumped in the bottom bowl when I was dyeing fabrics last year. The leaves are Threadworks. The fire under the pot is actually DMC Variations. I wasn't sure whether it was Jodie Ree or Carrie's Creations, but it's actually DMC Variations. The black is all etoile, and then down the bottom we have got the Caron Water Lilies. I think it's called Crown Jewels. And then of course the white is glow in the dark as well. So that's that one, all nice and finished. That I'll probably do a fully finished this week, maybe frame it, I think, that one. Then the one that is fully finished and framed, not a wonderful frame job, but it definitely suits me as of yesterday. Here we go. It is designed by Witchy Stitcher. I can't remember, I think it's a Jodie Ree fabric that I did it on. And I did make a couple of changes just with some of the colour and things like that so that it would show up a little bit better on the fabric. The ghostie is glow in the dark, of course. And I just think he is really, really cool. He, I just giggle. So that's getting hung up because that's me on a lot of days at the moment. Thank God my holiday started. Now, I'll show you the one. It's Stitch Your Own Adventure by Cunning Cross Stitch. It's a free stitch along. Started last year. If you're a fan of Harry Potter, then go and check it out. I will try and find the link and put it down below. He has done an incredible job. The amount of work that must have gone into this stitcher, it was just phenomenal. And he's also had, another couple of sales since then. The amount of time and effort that he spends on this must be astronomical, and it's all free. So go and support. I think he's got a Koha link. It's been a while, obviously, since I did it, because I think this was the 2020 sale. And he had two last year. I think one was Animal Crossing. I can't remember the other one. But yeah, so every week with this particular cross stitch, every month or few months, I don't know, it just seemed to happen like the next day. He would release different chapters. So the first one that you get is that, you know, the whole layout, and it's quite big, is the whole layout. And then each week, each time the release came out, there were options. You go on an adventure and it's like, which choice are you going to do? And depending on the choice would depend on which design you're going to put into that chapter. I got 3 chapters nearly completed. The only one I didn't complete was actually putting witch runes or the backstitch basically into chapter 3. So Donna, you got a bit of backstitch, darling, to start yourself off with. No worries. I changed a few things. I added a few things. I personalised it a bit. Originally it was going to be for my granddaughter, and she loves Ravenclaw, so I was basing it on her decisions, not on my decisions. And so I, you know, a lot of people made changes, and a lot of people made them available, you know, the designs and everything for other people to do them. But it is a pretty big thing. So I added in a unicorn, and I changed the wand a little bit. I haven't backstitched on the owl. I really should have backstitched on the owl. The castle is probably my favourite thing on it. I absolutely loved my train. So basically the top panel is probably my favourite part of the whole thing. But I'll see if I can get it all to fit. So here we go. So that's what I got up to. And then we'll do a bit of a close-up so you can have a nosy. So there we go. And then, because my granddaughter loves Ravenclaw, and she loves Luna, I got that's the Luna design that Valenti Crafts does, and I just squeezed in Ravenclaw, changed the colours a little bit, and then down to the next section down the bottom. So as you can see, chapter 3 I didn't finish. That's the runes chapter. Down the bottom is Quidditch. And then I added the book at the bottom along with the footsteps instead of a whole row of envelopes, which just would have done my head in. Oh, and the Hogwarts symbol. So there we go. It's stitched on 14 count Ada, and it is that antique one that I am doing all these next ones on, which is why I thought I'll show this first. So the lovely Donna will be doing that, and hopefully she'll send me a picture of it. It might take her just as long as it's taken me to get to the point where I'm actually sending it to her. So, excuse the noise. So there we go. So that is to go. So the new starts. Pinker and Pumpkin Quilting have a blog, and she's so generous in her designs, not just of, you know, bunnies and Christmas and seasonal sort of things, but a huge, wonderful array of saltbox houses. I've been told that saltbox houses are a style of house in the US, or an older style or something. If I'm wrong, please let me know, because I still don't know. I was going to research, but I just never got around to it this week. So I picked out 5 for this week, of her saltbox house or house styles. Summer, autumn, winter, spring, and of course an extra one for Halloween, because, you know, I've never done anything like these before, but I do really love doing them. So I want to do them in order, which I probably have forgotten. Looked it up. That's okay. What's that one? Yeah, that's it. Okay. Oops, just dropped it. So the first one I did was, of course, the most Halloweeny one, which is Willow Wisp Manor of Holler Lane, and it is about 67 stitches wide by 70 high. And again, I'm doing it on 14 count Ada. I did show you the piece last week of what it looks like, the fabric. So, and I'm really going to try and stick to the colours this time, unless I don't have the colour and I don't have an alternative, then I'll just find something else to use. So this is the design, which I will hopefully position when I'm actually pointing in that direction up next to me, of what it's supposed to look like. And then here we go. That's what I got done on Monday night. So that was my Monday night one, Will-O-Wisp Manor. I was actually really surprised how much I enjoyed doing this. I didn't think I'd have as much fun with it, but I really did have fun. The next one is the Winter House, and of course that's one that I dropped the paper for, but that's okay. So here it is, the Winter House. And I made a pretty good start on Tuesday night. It wasn't too bad. And there we go. It's really cute. I'm limiting myself, well, trying to limit myself when I was doing the starts to 2 hours a night. And some nights, Thursday night was a lot less because that's when I was doing the majority of the moving of the furniture into the other room, and I was exhausted and really sore. So the stitching mojo really wasn't there, but I did make a start on Thursday's one. But on Wednesday, I started, was it Wednesday night that I did the moving? That'll help me decide which one's the next one. Wednesday night, I did the Autumn Saltbox. I might have my nights mixed up, but the night that I've got very little stitching on, that's the night that I moved the majority of my furniture. So there you go. So there's the Autumn's Saltbox, and it is 59 by 62. I think it is. And I think I made a pretty good start on this one as well, although the green is going to drive me nuts because there's a lot of green. It doesn't look like much until you start stitching it, and then you just keep on stitching the green. So there we go. So no house appearing in that one yet, but we'll see what happens next week. The next one I started was Aunt Bee's Summer Home, and this one again, but the cool thing is they're all about the same size, and they're all, I'm going to turn all of them into little pillows now that I've got an idea of what I'm doing. This one is 69 by 68, and I say it's the least on it, but at least I've got the house on it. So there we go. Not too bad. Let's hide that one. And then on Friday night, again, I was pretty tired because that was when we were doing a lot more measuring and moving stuff in from the outside and putting extra cupboards in my room and that sort of thing. So again, I was a little tired and sore on Friday night. But I started this one, which was the Spring Green Saltbox. And that's what I got done on Friday night for my last Saltbox start for the week. So I was quite pleased with starting all of those. Yesterday was supposed to be me mainly working on my new room and also getting a bunch of baking done. I had a bit of a bad afternoon where I pretty much stopped doing everything and anything. And, you know, everyone has those sorts of days where for no reason they just need to switch off. I used to push through it and just carry on going, but I've learned stop. Listen to what your body's telling you. If your body, you know, tells you, no, we're not doing that now. And I know when I try baking when I'm not in a good frame of mind, major catastrophe, and that just makes things worse. And because my Anzac cookies are so important to me, I didn't want to mess them up. When I had to think about it last night, when I was, you know, more settled and more calm after some meditation, I realized it was my granddad's birthday yesterday, and I'd always celebrated my birthday with my granddad. So, you know, having my 50th tomorrow, not having him around, and then I'd lost my dad 2 years ago, so I don't have him around either. It just sort of, I don't know, it just hit me for some reason yesterday, and usually I'm okay about it, but yesterday I didn't hold it back and I just let it go, let the tears flow, let them out, and that sort of thing. And then later on in the evening I sort of thought about it, and I thought, I need to start another project. And I did have a couple chosen out. I was going to do the mushroom one, or that quote one, or, you know, the other ones that I'd picked out to start this month. But instead I didn't do any of them. I went on to Facebook, Etsy, and I had a look through the ones that I had purchased, and it's one that I got earlier last year, and the designer is in Poland. I'll have to look it up. I forgot. I did look it up and screenshot it, but I'm using the phone to video on, so I can't tell you the answer. But this is what it is. So it's just dragon without my coffee, which was sort of how I was feeling. I don't think I had enough coffee yesterday. I think, 3 cups just didn't do it yesterday. I should have had like 5 or 6, would have been probably better. So I'm starting on my 2nd cup now, and let's see how the day goes. I didn't make much of a start because I didn't come to this decision until about 11:30 last night. So I had to go and kit it up. Went through and quickly grabbed, what was needed. One thread I was missing, which was the blue, which is for just and without my. Missing that thread, and I didn't have I did have the alternative colour. No, I didn't. So again, I didn't even have the alternative colour. So I thought, okay, well, it's a bluey tone. So I actually grabbed one of Jodie Ree's ones, and I'm using one of hers called Nevermore. It looks sort of bluey grey, I suppose, when you see it all, in a skein. And it's always interesting when you see things stitch up individually, with the double strand or single strand, of how different the colour actually really is. I remember getting caught out using this one on my Joan Elliott's Halloween sampler, because that's one of the ones that I used on it. I was expecting it to be more grey, and it had more of a blue tinge, which caught me off guard. But I loved the effect of it, so I kept it. And I sort of thought, oh, you know what, I'm going to use that on here. It's a bluey tone, and it will work with the other ones as well. One thing I'm actually going to go back to doing is starting to stitch, because when I was organising all my threads and everything last night, I find organising things helps the old brain up there a bit. That's right. When I was organising all my threads, and I was organising all my over dyed or hand dyed or variation ones, all those sorts of ones, some of them I had already done these, I think they're about 8x8 squares on plastic canvas. I stitched that thread onto these little pieces, and I just popped it in the bag with the thread, so that I'd see how it's going to stitch up, so that if I decide I want to switch out colours, I can see what sort of effect it's going to have. And I'm thinking, I really need to get back into doing that. So I mean, I'm not going to do it with my DMC or anything like that. But I am going to start doing it with all of my variegateds and overdyeds and stuff, and that will take me months and months and months, because I'll get bored doing these little squares over and over and over and over again. So I'll show you what I mean. I actually have a little album with some of them already done in, and I'm going to put those actually into the bags rather than in the album. So yeah, so I'll show you those. Meanwhile, just dragging without my coffee, I got sidetracked again. You guys got to tell me to stop doing that. Okay, so here we go. Just dragging without my coffee. Well, I got the coffee. The coffee was the first thing I stitched, because that was the only thing I could think of. So it is getting stitched on Silver Tassels, which is available on Jodie Ree's website. It is an opal, and it's really, really lovely. It's subtle, and it's a neutral, and I'm actually probably going to order more of this one, because as a neutral, it's got a slight beigey grey, beige to the grey sort of thing. It's supposed to be a grey, but it's got a little bit of a beige tinge, which warms it. So it's a warm browny grey or beigey grey, and I really like it, so I'm actually going to order more of this one. So that was my 6th start for the week. Let's see how many of those I finish in the next week, because next week I'm not planning on starting any new ones. I'm only allowed to work on whips next week, as you know, the last week of April before I get into Maynia. There are a couple of my whips that I'm pulling out for Maynia next month. Not all of them are Halloween. I'm going to see if I can finish the Grimm's Fairy Tale by Clouds Factory. I'm definitely going to be working on Bellatrix, getting her beads on, now that I've got things a little bit more set up to be able to do her. I'm still undecided on the other 3, but the whips are going to be my bigger projects. The starts, I'm doing the Mushroom Forest is number 1. I'm thinking a Spooky Hollow, the Witchy Stitcher, and also Tiny Modernist's When Witches Go Riding sale from last Halloween, and maybe Lakeside Needlecraft's Halloween sale from last year, the candles. Those are like the shortlist ones so far. I need to pick 5, so there's still 1. But my starts are going to be larger ones, not quick little finishes. But I'm still going to have my salt boxes that I'll be working on if I don't finish them next week. So, yeah. Now on to some haul. Like I said, it's not stitchy per se. It's some of the crafty things that you can get or make use of when you're trying to fully finish an item. I'm still learning. I've made 1 pillow. I've made 1 little ornament bag, and I'll see if I can find a picture and I'll pop that up. That was the first ever ornament I had ever done with the little owl, and it was for a New Zealand cross-stitch ornament exchange for Christmas. I don't know what I was thinking when I signed up. I just sort of thought, yeah, I'll do that, I'll be in. And I remember going into Pete's Emporium and saying, what do I use? How do I do this? Because I've never made one. So the ladies down at Pete's Emporium were absolutely fantastic, giving me the right fabric or, you know, the right materials or bits and pieces that I needed to be able to finish it. So I was pleased about that. Last year for Christmas, I signed up again and I did my first ever little hoop ornament. So far I've done a little bag, a pillow, and a hoop and a biscornu. So that's it. That is my fully finishing of anything, apart from the things that I've been putting into frames. So yeah, okay. So we'll see what I can get finished next week. I'm actually going to try a couple of things next week, including using my new sewing machine. It's just a little one, but let's see how I go, if I'm able to achieve that. Right, so I got a couple of things from Ribbon Rose in New Zealand to help with next week. So because I sort of figured I'm going to be, you know, going to try and use the sewing machine, I need to get some little pins because I didn't have any. I do have the clips, so I was going to use those, but I thought I'll just get some pins just in case. Always handy to have both. So I just got these little pins, and if you need more of them you can just buy another bottle, and they've got 30 in, and you can stack them so you can keep them all together. And I liked that concept, so that if I want to get more, I'm not gonna have to buy a big container or something. I can just stack them like that. I also got, sorry, I thought I'd left something else under there. I also got, because I'm going to start doing journals and that sort of thing, I thought I want to get some stamps. I just need to get a stamp pad. Completely forgot that a stamp pad would be required, but you know. Now, as I have said, I love Gorgeous Girls, Santoro, Gorgeous Girls, which I discovered with Bothy Designs. Apparently they are under another, is it Vervico, I think, now have the rights or whatever. So they are still going to be available as a cross stitch. I'm just not 100% sure who with now. And maybe that's something I need to work on next month. Okay, anyway, so I saw these little stamps and I thought, oh, I have to get those. Even if I never use them, I'll hang them up as little decorations. So I got this one here, which I thought was very cute. I mean, obviously it just stamps as an outline, not as the image, you know, coloured in image. But I just sort of thought it'd be really cute, just as especially this one. I love her. I think she rocks. So I got those. See, I do have a habit of getting little things that I will probably never use for my craft, but they're cute. Now, I had said to you before that I'd seen on another Flosstube, and I meant to have a look to see if I could find it again. They were showing their mixed media journal that they're going to start to use. And I was enabled. I went and looked, and Ribbon Rose actually had them in stock. Not too bad a price. Probably not the sort of thing that I would buy often, just as well, because I don't journal wonderfully well. But I thought, well, if I'm going to do this, this will be really cool because it's got burlap in it, which I was thinking I can do some rustic stitching on that burlap. It does have canvas and other, you know, watercolour, what's it? Okay, burlap, canvas, cotton rag, watercolour paper and craft surfaces. So that's what it's got in it. It's the Dina Wakley Media Journal, multi-surface journal for mixed media. It's got 54 pages in it. I'm probably going to take out a few of the pages, like the paper ones, because I'm thinking it's not got a spiral bind or anything like that. So as I put the cross stitches in, it's going to get a bit bulky, and I don't want getting damaged. But we'll see how it goes. I'm not going to take anything out until I think that's going to make, you know, have a difference. So this is it here. It's a decent size. It's 7.75 inches by 10.25, and the pages are 7.25 by 10. So basically a 7 by 10. I don't know why they bother about the 2.5. And you'll see that it's got frayed bits and stuff like that. That's actually part of what it's supposed to look like. It's really cool. I think that just adds a bit more character to it. Try not to pull them off though. So, as you can see, they're just, you know, they're pretty good to use. So, got some burlap down my throat. So that's what I'm going to see if I can start next week. I have got another journal as well, which may have my smaller pieces in. I think that's going to be for more my medium-sized things that I'm not going to frame or turn into pillows. So from AliExpress, I got a few other bits and pieces this week. I got these little, are they called kabochin things? And I just sort of thought they'd be really cool to decorate. I actually got 2 packs of these to decorate frames around the edges if I just glue gun them on, just to get, you know, add a little bit of extra decoration. So I'll see if I can get you to see the little images on them. They're very cute. They're just little. And I just sort of thought they were really quite cool. So that's why I got them. And I have other ones like that in the boxes you'll see later. I also, for things like that, if I'm going to be using them, or, you know, I'm picking out a few and I just want to keep them separate because I've got something in mind for them, I just got one of these as well. They're a handy little extra to have. It's got a nice clip to it. Not bad for, I think it was like $1.10. No, it was 89 cents with free postage. Like, dude. I was also looking for buttons, and I wanted Halloween themed buttons for decoration. to use on the pillows and that sort of thing. And I really wanted to get some like wooden ones if I could, rather than the plasticky ones. And one of the places on AliExpress had a really cool set of 50 in the set. And that's these ones here. And they're very cool. You know, they're nice clear pictures. I wasn't expecting a lot because I think it only cost, you know, like $1.10. Free postage again. So I thought, well, if they were crap, then, you know, it's only $1.10. I also needed to, I've ordered stars a few times, star charms, and they're all too big for where I want to put them or how I want to use them. And so I've got stars in various sizes, but I still haven't got just little tiny ones, which is what I've been wanting. Well, now I do. So I got these in the they're silvery gold, they're silver and goldy sort of brassy colour. But I thought, sweet, now I've, you know, finally got little ones for me to use. I think there's like 100 in that thing. And then one of the other cabochon, whatever. One of the other ones I got, they were gothic girls is what they called them, and I just fell in love. I thought, oh my god, yes, I've got to get those. I don't know how I'm going to use them, but I really love them. And that's those ones there. I wasn't, you know, when I ordered them, I was sort of doubtful about how good the images will actually be on them. I hope you can see that okay. But I'm well impressed. You know, again, I think it was a couple of bucks for those. And then I added to my washi tape collection because, you know, what, 40 rolls is not enough. Always room for one more roll. And Monkey, are you sitting on one? I have to have a hunt. Oh, I hope it didn't fall in the rubbish bin when I was cleaning up. Oops. There should be 6 in this set. Again, I got them from AliExpress. So they're all my little Halloweeny ones. I don't think you can have too many Halloween themed washi tapes. And I figure I need the washi tapes because I'm going to start doing that journaling thing. And if I've always found that if I don't have something, or, you know, then I lose interest. So I sort of figure if I'm having to wait, you know, not wait for something, I can do it. Whereas if I have to wait, I tend to find something else to distract me, and then I'm not interested in the original thing I was doing, if that makes sense. And then this is the other washi tape, just a nice simple one with Halloween on. I thought that was really cool. So there. Oh my god, I think that's it. Okay, what are we on? Whew, we're going to be under an hour. Okay, so as I said, next week I've got the week off. What I'm going to achieve, I don't know. We'll see how my stitchy mojo goes. Today, like I said, I've got to get some baking done. I at least have to get the Anzac biscuits done. Oh, and the banana bread loaves, because I've got bananas, although I could probably chuck them in the freezer. See, I'm already talking myself out of it. And yeah, and then next week I want to try and finish a few things, and fully finish a few things. I mean, you'll see all the frames that I've got. I don't know how useful they're going to be with the size of finishes I've got. I think a lot of them are going to be too small, which is going to give me an excuse to do a whole bunch more small ones just so I can use the frames. I've also got to get a lot more of the hanging strips or command adhesive hooks and things like that. I don't want to put a whole bunch of holes in the wall if I can help it. And so I won't be using the craft room for a while yet. That's basically my storeroom at the moment, only because I really need to find a comfy chair. I was thinking of getting like a big bean bag or something, but if I'm sitting in there, I'm probably not stitching, I'm dozing or reading. that's the other thing. Now that I've got the extra space, I'll be able to bring all my books inside. I have missed having my books around me for when the mood strikes and I want to read a book, because I hate reading on things like Kindle. I like the feel of paper and the smell of a book. It's totally different. I have tried reading a Kindle or, you know, one of those, you know, reading on, and I just can't get into the book. You know, it's just no, in awe of people that can sit on a train and read one of those things in the morning when I'd have to catch the train into town to work. I'd be like, I just want a book, and someone goes, oh, but books are too big. I'm like, then get a smaller book. Anyway, now I'm rambling a bit. So next weekend, May 1st is going to be the first day of Maynia with the Halloween Stitchy page on Facebook. Anna has set up another month of great activities, which we will find out more of at the start of next week. And I'll put the Facebook page below. And so this week I've also got to organise which ones I'm pulling out to do next month. Which 5 whips and which 5 starts. So that's something I will get done next week. I'm going to go and get an eye check so that I can get my driver's license extended, because it's pretty much expired. So I need to put an extension on it for another 10 years. But because of my eyesight, I have to go and get an eye check and a letter from the optometrist to say that, yep, as long as she's wearing her glasses, she can drive the car. Wonder if they specify which glasses I have to wear, because, you know, if I've got the wrong ones on, everything's a little blurry. I try not to do that. It'll also give me a chance to spend some time with Bobby. We may have a new member of the family joining us next week. My housemate came in on Thursday to say that Bobby and Monkey may have a new roomie, and at the moment her name is Midnight. She's a Labrador Staffy Cross. She's 2 years old, and he was hoping to be able to pick her up on Friday before the long weekend, because she's at the pound and we want, you know, and he wants to sort of save her. They're not sure how she'll go, so it's basically a test period when we get her, because they know she's great with, you know, other dogs and with kids and that sort of thing, but they don't know how she'll be with a cat. And Monkey is very opinionated. But we're not going to make up our mind straight away in regards to Monkey's attitude. Monkey adapts, and he's used to big dogs. Bobby's probably the only small dog he has any tolerance for. So we may have a new addition next week, and whether we keep her name as Midnight or change it to something else, my flatmate will let me know. But he's going to pick her up on Tuesday. So I've got to remember to keep my craft room door shut, because I don't know whether she's going to be a chewy dog. I hope not. Otherwise I'm going to have to hide my shoes. I've only got a couple of pairs. Anyway, so that may end up distracting me from doing much at all if I'm focusing on her, unless he takes her to work with him each day, in which case it'll be a bit different. But yeah, so next week, I don't know. I don't know whether I'm going to get things fully finished or try using my sewing machine, although I don't know if I will, because I don't have a table as such, but I might hodgepodge one and just see what I can do with that. I do have a couple of ideas of what I want to do for pillows, because I do have some walnut shell, and I do also have some emery sand stuff. And apparently the emery sand, if you use that when you in a pin cushion type thingy, when you put the needles in and, you know, needle in and out of it, it actually helps to sharpen the needle if you're wanting to sharpen your needle. But I've come up with, because I have watched some videos obviously of how to do the pillow finish, and I'm watching them put in the walnut shell, and it might be different on linen because it's so tight, and even weave because it's so tight, but Aida's a more open fabric, and so my concern is always that little grains of walnut might come out, or you know, stuff like that. So I'm gonna see if I can make little pouches that will go in the bottom of something that I want to have stand up. I'm going to make it up as I go along. So that's the plan for this week. We'll see how much extra stitching I get done on the salt boxes, or I think the dragon without my coffee will probably get attacked today because I really want to get that done. I just think it's really cool. And meanwhile, at the end of this video, I will be adding on the video that I took of my new room. So if you've got any questions, let me know. Any comments or any feedback. I try and answer every single comment as it comes in, or at least within 24 or 36 hours of it coming in, depending on how awake I am. Remember, I'm in New Zealand, different time zone for a lot of people. I'll also have my email address down below as well if you want to drop me a line that way, if you've got any questions or suggestions or information to correct me, because I messed up so badly last week when I said that the tarot cell was from Fourth Circle. Fourth Circle is doing the cereal cell. The tarot cell is from Witch's Garden Crafts. And I've got a few of their designs. I've got Stitch Witch and Kitchen Witch, and I'm like, how did I get that wrong? So apologies profusely to Witch's Garden Crafts for getting that so badly wrong. But I hope that you guys come back again. And if you've got any suggestions on what you'd like to see more of or less of, then just let us know and we'll see how we go. Meanwhile, please take care, be well, be kind, and remember, there's nothing wrong with coming up with your own way of doing things. Sometimes marching to the beat of your own drum creates magic. Catch up next time. Toodles. Okay, so welcome to my craft room. Zen room is what I'm going to call it. Okay, so on my wardrobe door, I have a really cool little hangy thing that hangs over the door. My spider is guarding. This is my cute little ironing board. It just sits on the table. So that's my lovely little craft one. These are holding my completed projects. It used to just be in one bag, but I've had to get a bigger bag. And now along here, in that particular spot there is going to be a desk or craft table, whatever. A friend of mine is making that for me. And then we have our dies, interfacing and fusing and that sort of thing, and the iron, and my new little sewing machine, which I still need to figure out how to use, but hey, I'm sure I can learn. And then my ruler and my cutting stuff. And then there's our lovely deck outside. If you're wondering why we've got a bathtub full of dirt, it's because it's actually one of our little veggie gardens, which we need to plant something in. Right, so over on the other wall, I've got my whips. So those are all my whips on those two shelves there, although there are some more kits in those bottom ones. Oh, actually, let me just rephrase. There are kits as well as whips in this slot, plus there's my folders and notebooks and things like that. They've got a lot in them. Down the bottom is my laminator and cutter, and then on the next one over we have got my ribbons and trimmings, and which I still need to figure out how to use, and my fabric fat quarters mainly, that sort of thing. And then down we go to, there's my glue gun, but little crafty bits and pieces. And then we have yes, 3 boxes of buttons and charms, that sort of thing. My little accessories box. And in the drawers down here we have got felt. We have got odds and ends for me to find a new place for. And we've got some other purchased kits. And then down the bottom, hello monkey, those are filled with printed charts. Yes, monkey. Yeah. Okay. And then onto this one. So we have got, I actually took these out last night to reorganize them. and refill the ones from my duplicates because there were some gaps. So I refilled those, reorganised them and put them all away again. And those boxes down the bottom, those are the duplicates of non-DMC, and those are the DMC and Etoile and Variations duplicates. Then we've got, I found this really, really cool craft paper, all Halloweeny. So I'm not sure how I'm going to use it, but I couldn't pass it up because look at it. It's really cool papers. And it's quite thick too. And then we have the different frames that I've got at the moment that I can use, plus some of the bigger pieces of the self-stick, so that next week I can try and maybe at least mount them, if not frame them. And then I have got my Bellatrix, excuse this, got my Bellatrix sitting up here to add the beads onto. And I've actually, because I was struggling trying to get it, I've actually got one of these little clips on it now, so I can put the pattern on that instead of me having the pattern elsewhere. Those are the ones that I've still got to hang up. In the cupboard are fabrics, and my beads are down the bottom. So the fabrics are in these drawers here. So those are the Jody Ree ones, and those are the non-Jody Ree ones. And then there's this little unit here. So I've got my sulky threads down the bottom, odds and ends and cleaning stuff. And those shelves are going to go up on the wall. And just, yeah. So these three, oh no, those two units there, well, that one definitely came in from outside in the garage, and the other two have gone into my bedroom to replace all the ones that I've taken out. So there we go. So that, and all this wall space that I now have the opportunity, oh, by the way, the curtains are getting made. They were just put up there to see about the length so they can get hemmed. But yeah, so flatmate's doing that. So yeah, so I've got all this lovely space and natural light for me to work in. I'm going to get a comfy chair at some point, and that's basically going to be sitting about there. So I can sit in natural light and stitch. So there we go. That's the new craft space.